This is the plaintiff, Julia Tyson. She says she bought her old car back from the defendant, but when she got it, it reeked of pot, and the defendant never gave her the title back. Then just last week, the defendant snuck onto her property and stole the car from her. This is a crazy back-and-forth case. She has no other choice but to sue her here for the $2,128.50 she's owed, and hopes the judge sees things her way. This is the defendant, Kiara Sessions. She says the car's in her name. It's her car, and the plaintiff's causing her undue stress. That's right. If anyone's owed money here today, it's not the plaintiff, it's her. Bottom line, she's pretty sure the judge will see her side of things today, because she has all the proof and evidence to show this car's hers, not the plaintiff's. She's accused of going back and forth.
All parties, please raise your right hands. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Julia Tyson, you are suing Kiara Sessions for $2,128.50 that you say she owes you for a vehicle. Let's hear from you first. What happened here?
Okay. First, I purchased a Toyota, but in the process, I sold Kiara.
How did you know Kiara?
Okay, I knew her through her mother. Her mother and I used to work together. Also,
Okay.
I used to work with her grandmother, too.
Okay. So she needs a car, and you're selling a car.
Right.
And you're selling a car, why?
Well, because I had purchased, or I
Another
thought
one.
I
Or you
purchased
thought
a
you
Toyota.
had purchased. What is you
Okay.
thought you had purchased?
Well, my paperwork, they put the wrong information down from what I gave them. So they falsified my my income. The car dealership.
The car dealership falsified your income.
Right.
Okay.
And I didn't find that out.
So you didn't get financing that you were expecting.
Right. Yeah.
So you sell her the car for how much?
$500.
How old was this car?
It's 2002.
2002 what?
Chevy Blazer.
Chevy Blazer.
At the time that I sold it to Kiara, we did not do any paperwork like a receipt or whatever.
Why not?
Trusted her. She was like a
Well, you're the
goddaughter.
person buying a car without knowing if you have a new
Yeah.
car. But anyway,
Yeah.
so I know why not. But all right,
But
but,
I
there's no
trust-
question she paid you $500.
Right.
And then you sold her the car. What'd you do
Right.
with the car once you had it?
I began to drive it.
Did you register it in your name?
I did.
Did you insure it?
I did.
Okay. Is it presently in your name?
It is.
All right. And then at some point you realize you don't have financing and you want your car back.
No, ma'am.
Okay. What happened there?
She called me and she said, well, Ms. Tyson, do you want your car back? I said, no. I said, it wouldn't be fair to me to take the car back from you just because the other deal fell through. So she said, well, I already have a car, so keep you from being without transportation, I'll sell it back to you.
Did that happen?
No.
What happened according to you?
Well, what happened was she called my mom and told my mom what happened,
Right.
but she also reached out to me. I felt bad, for her. She did ask, could she have the car back? And I told her no, because I purchased the car with someone else and we'd be using it for a business. So the decision was not just on me. When I talked to Shanikra, she said, she
Who's
didn't feel...
Shanikra to you?
She's my friend and also business partner.
Come on up. And what business are you guys in?
It's our energy drink company. So
Okay.
we would be using it to, make deliveries for the company. When I came to her about it, I'm more of the one that's like, well, she's
You
not
don't
going
need
to
a
have
reason
a car.
for not wanting to return a car that you bought. You bought it. You registered
Right.
in your name. You
But I
don't,
felt
you don't
bad.
need to explain this to me any further. So
Right.
what happens then?
So I agreed to let her, use the car in the meantime until she was able to get proper documents to finance another one. Feeling sorry for her. But it turned out that she really was trying to basically just trick me into getting the title back into her name, because what she said was that she needed the title to be able to get insurance. Because I told her, I don't mind you driving it until you get another car, but I'm not going to pay for the insurance if I'm not driving it. She agreed that she was.
This is so messy. Why return the car to her at all?
Well, not return
Because but her story is very different. She says according to you, you bought back the car?
Yes,
Who would
what
do
happened,
that?
she called me. So when she called me and said, do I want the car back, I told her no.
So then how'd you get the car back?
Later on, she said, well, Miss Tyson, I got a car. I got a car, but to keep you from being without one, I'll sell it back to you.
After she already went through the trouble of registering it and everything else?
Right.
All right, so according to you, she sells it back to you. You paid her how much?
I end up paying her a total of $750.
How come? Because the $500 for the purchase?
$500 for the purchase, and then she said on her title to get the tag, she had to pay $250. And so to keep just from going through a lot of mess, I just paid the $750.
Do you have a receipt for the $750?
No, ma'am. Only thing I have is a bank statement for the $5. You know, where I made a withdrawal.
Well,
around
that's better
that
than
time.
nothing, but, why would you let go of $750? Watch this. Did she give you $750?
No.
Did she give you $500?
No.
Did she pay you a penny when you returned that car to her in order to purchase it from you?
No.
This is the thing. When I sold her the car, we didn't exchange a receipt then. I thought when she sold it back, everything would run just as smooth. I know.
I mean,
Get
do you
me-
watch a people's court?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Maybe not enough, because I've been
Yeah.
saying for the last 20 years that cash doesn't leave this hand without a receipt coming
Right,
into this hand.
Right.
And she's looking at me right in the face and saying you didn't buy the car back. In fact, what you end up doing is you take the car back from her, right? Because you got an
Steal
extra
it.
key.
Right. I took the car back because
Why did you take the car back?
because she stopped answering my calls.
Tell me this. Why would you let her drive the car even?
Because she is a friend of my mom's, and I'm not just.
How'd you feel about that? That was a car purchase for your business. What if she crashes it?
From the beginning, I told her no. I told her don't give the car back because, I mean, we got it at a good deal. We did our part as far as getting the insurance, getting it registered. So I felt like it was ours. And
So now it's registered under your name and it's insured under your name. And then what if she has a car accident? Why would you give it to her at all? Did you say no, don't give it to her?
I did, but Kiera, her heart is too good.
Oh, it's always, whenever someone does something stupid, they always say, I mean, it's reckless. If you're a business owner, you need to make good decisions. It is reckless to do that, all right? So then it's registered right now under whose name? Under yours?
Correct.
All right, and then according to you, how long after you loan her the car are you saying you got to return the car and she's ignoring you?
It was a couple of weeks later.
Okay, and do you ever share that, hey, she's not returning the car with your friend here?
Yeah, I told her.
What did she say to you?
She said, Miss Tyson is not returning my calls about the car. And I'm like, Kiera, why did you give her the car? You know, the back and forth.
Oh, so was that a surprise to you that she had ended up giving her the car?
Yes.
Oh.
It was. It was a surprise because I tried to talk her out of doing it because I just didn't feel like it was a good idea anyway. And so when she told me she wasn't answering, I'm like, so what are we going to do about it?
And what did you decide? You decided you'd find where the car was and use your extra key and take it back.
Right.
All right. And did the police get involved?
I called the police.
And then the police come, and what did the police say?
And the police told me since I don't have a receipt or title, that nothing I can do about it. I had to play it out in court.
Mm-hmm. When I originally had the Chevy, I kept it in good condition. It may not have looked like Dolly Parton on the outside, but it ran like Dolly Parton.
How she look on the outside.
When do you say okay, first of all, when do you say you bought it back?
In January. It was in January.
Right, but do you understand the withdrawals that you are circling are February 4th?
That's the exchange of the money where I went and withdrew it out of the bank.
Right, but how do I not know that these are just regular withdrawals?
Because compared to the time.
Well, the time is
where
off. If you sold it back to her in January, these are circled in February.
No.
So how would I know that
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. But anyway, here's our last text message, and I was through about playing with her by then.
Oh, you have text?
I got this.
No, yeah. Give me all the text you got.
Okay.
I want to see it right in the phone.
This right here. Got tired of going back and forth about the title. Also, here's and
What
this
time
is-
and where? Just a minute.
Okay.
Bring other key. I need it.
Mm-hmm.
Why would she say that?
Okay, so this is the thing. She was basically telling me that in order for her to get insurance in her name, that she had to switch the vehicle back into her name. My mom told me that she felt like that was just a trick.
A ruse to get the
That was
car
a way
back
to
in her
get
name.
the title back in her name so that I wouldn't get it back.
Okay.
So then she said that she was having issues, but she was basically saying that she felt like the other key worked better in the car. And so I just
And
kept
then
feeling
once you
like,
got bring the other key, I need it.
I'm like,
and
why is she-
But
no,
you
she
just
don't-
started to think it seemed hanky.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, good idea, bad idea for a friend to sell another friend his or her used car?
I say terrible.
Why?
Because there could be something wrong with it. You can't always trust the person. And, like, what if something happens? Can you blame them? That just gets awkward. And,
What do you say?
I think it's the worst idea ever.
Ever?
Never do money between friends. It's never a good idea. Any transaction.
You're going to be the tiebreaker.
I completely agree. It's the worst idea.
Why?
If something goes wrong with the car, the friend could get mad about it. It could ruin the relationship.
But that's on the friend, right? I mean, if you're reasonable and you're selling the car, it's on the friend, right?
I don't know.
I would stick with it's the worst idea.
I wouldn't take the chance.
Okay, good. We're going inside the courtroom.
On your lawsuit against her, you don't have a receipt for buying the car back.
Right.
You don't have proof of a January withdrawal. You just have, and these could be withdrawals for anything. That doesn't prove to me that you bought the car back. When someone buys a car back, they have a title signed over to them, just like you did for her. And they should have some paperwork, but okay, you didn't have the paperwork. There should be some trail that shows that you bought the car back. I've got a very strong story there that why on earth would they sell you the car back? I don't want to sell you. They got a good deal. They got a reason they want it. They don't want the car to be sold back to you. The circumstances under which it gets taken back kind of show to me that, what are they going to do? Steal a car that they sold you? And then you naturally assuming that she had taken the car back, and instead of calling the police because you have a stolen car, it's kind of weird. But the bottom line is it's a simple case. You need to prove you bought the car back, and you can't, so my verdict in this case is for the defendant.
Wow. Wow. Come on.
So it ends up a 0-0 tie, really, effect here in the People's Court. Ms. Tyson, you'll step over here. What do you think of the judge's decision now? You lost, totally.
Yeah, but if she presented all the evidence, what do I need a title?
You need-
I mean, wait a minute. Why would I need a title to get insurance?
Bottom line is, the car's in her name.
I know
And you
it.
couldn't prove you bought it back. You
Yeah.
didn't have proof.
But she didn't have proof that she bought it for me.
I know. Neither one of you had evidence. Nobody wrote receipts or anything.
So, but that's okay.
that's what the judge believed,
But see, she didn't even let me show where I went to try to get the title.
She didn't need it. She didn't need it. All right? I'm
Okay.
sorry it ended up that
That's
way
okay.
for you. I don't know what's going to happen now. Here comes Miss Sessions. She's been friends with your grandmother going a long time going back.
Yeah, and my mother as well.
Yeah, and your mom.
Yeah, and I have a sensitive spot for older people, but she just taught me that older people can, be a little fraudulent, and she's just a older fraud queen, if you ask me.
Okay. Thank you very much. Sorry it ended up this way for you, okay?
Thank you. No, I'm happy. I won. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm going to get it washed tonight.
Thank you. Going to get it washed tonight. Good for you. We'll have a clean car. Harvey?
Okay, well, I agree with everybody back here that it's a bad idea to sell to a friend generally, but if you're going to do it, what you should do is both of you go to a mechanic, a neutral mechanic who can look at the car and lay out, here's what's wrong with it, if anything, so it's eyes wide open. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.